It seems to me that in theory, cybersecurity should be easy. Why is it so hard?
Because it never stays stagnant. Every minute of every day, something's changing. Whether it's your vulnerabilities, whether it's the hackers, like you're literally reviewing something that's growing and evolving on a minute by minute basis in some cases. Talk to your employees, like what's going on, what are the issues, because they know more than anybody will. The people with the hands in the dirt, that's who you want to make your best friends, because they will tell you, hopefully, if the culture is there, they will tell you everything so you can try to fix what you can. Because a lot of times, the higher up you are, the less likely those with the hands in the dirt are going to come to you. So it's starting off with creating the culture of transparency and communication. If you don't know what's bleeding, how could you ever fix it?
What are the big mistakes that you see? Either big mistakes in magnitude or perhaps just significant mistakes you often see across the client base?
The person who comes to us who actually needs our help they don't get enough support. It's very limited. And staffing, that goes along with staffing too, like whether it's financial support or just employee support, they don't have a lot of support, which is probably why they're bringing us in. A lot of times, especially in IT, it's just constant patching up these holes and the actual problem never gets fixed. Since we're not internal, we don't know where all the skeletons are. And a lot of times I think clients don't like to call that out right away, but we need to know that. Not all information is shared, which is understandable, right? But a lot of times it's some of those missing pieces where we're like, if we would have known that, we would have been able to provide better insight. You need to be able to quickly have your client trust you so they can divulge some of the skeletons and not be afraid to do it, because we're not here to judge, we're here to help. And if we don't know where the bodies are buried, how can we help you dig them up and clean it up, right?
Bury them somewhere better.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you see, Jenny, our client base adapting to change and responding to change going on around them?
Well, it's actually interesting that you bring that up. So I think they're kind of being forced to evolve. One, for cybersecurity insurance requirements that seem to be changing every year. And I think it too depends on the industry that they're in, right? A good one might be like a client that actually performs security audits for their own clients, but haven't had the time to do them themselves. So they already have a mindset of security in place. So I think it's easier for them to adapt to change. So I think it really depends on the basis of the organization that you're dealing with. And hopefully we come in not because of a knee-jerk reaction, because they've been, hacked or whatever the case may be, and that it could be more preventative. We're kind of at a shift in how business is operating when it comes to IT, versus IT being a means to keep the lights on so you can make profit. Now you're kind of pushing it more to the forefront, because if you don't have IT security in place and you're not actually doing what you say you're doing, if you do get breached, you're really screwed. Like, they're going from top down. So I think there is kind of a shift coming with that. I think this new shift in focus of IT security and having organizations basically be held accountable for this will help fund some of the bigger budgets that they actually do need. I think it's way past time where IT kind of gets the respect that it should have, in a way, right? Where we are a huge part of the industry. And if you want to stay afloat, you need to have this good base in place. It's not back to typewriters anymore. Like, you're either in or you're out. It's literally impossible to be 100% secure. That's where you have to bring in the whole risk part. At what point, what risk are we willing to take, right? Mm-hmm. In a way, it's like we're doctors. So we're trying to work on this organization, which is human body. which is out there in the world being inundated by all these viruses and bacteria, and we're like the little white blood cells trying to clean everything up. Like it's always going to be constantly changing and growing, and especially IT. Like, I mean, 5 years from now, Lord knows what we're going to have to secure, right? I mean, we're going to have AI going AWOL everywhere. And
I've always felt that ideally a risk assessment should be a way of living, not an event, right?
Right.